Hello and welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me again for another night of Facebook Live. I also want to recognize those that catch the replay from YouTube and or SoundCloud. I am your host, Tricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. It is indeed a blessing to be here with you tonight. As tonight, I am hoping that you had a wonderful day. And hey, it's Friday, so for many of us, we get a couple days of break and relaxation. And for those of you that are like me, every day is a day to grind, but the weekends, we always still look forward to it just so we can kind of put it on cruise control, guys. So it is a blessing to be here with you. As tonight, we're finishing up the Y series. This is the last video in our Y series where I'm using it as a promotional piece or just as a clarity piece to give you guys understanding of the services and products that I offer. And so if you have not already liked and subscribed to my YouTube channel, it would be a good idea to go ahead and do that, either YouTube or SoundCloud. If you like and subscribe to those channels, you can catch up on demand from the videos that you may miss uh, since we're here at 10 o'clock at night. So nonetheless, let's get ready to get started. As tonight I'm talking to you about recreating me. And you guys know that I wrote the book Recreating a Better Me. And so tonight I just want to kind of give you the reasons behind writing that book and the things that have birthed from writing that book. Recreating a Better Me is a necessary piece, especially for me, um, waking up one day over 40. Hey Diane, how are you? Waking up one day over 40, really looking at life for what it is and really finding myself unsatisfied. Unsatisfied with life, really unfulfilled in careers, just really saying, there's got to be more to life than what I am experiencing right now. And I know that many of us get to this point. Many of us, we get up every day with the same routine, day after day, and we get to the point to where we ask ourselves, is this all there is to life? Or am I missing something? What is it that I'm missing? Because every time I look around, it looks like everybody's living their dreams. They look happy. They look fulfilled. And here I am, doing what I believe to be right, living what I believe is a decent life, but yet I am still not satisfied. I am still unfulfilled. And so this is what brought on writing the book, Recreating a Better Me. Now, it's not all about me, guys, because I know for every issue that I have, I know that for every negative thought that I've ever thought of myself or toward a situation, I know that there are more people out there that feels the same way that I do when they get to that point of just getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so I began to take a look at myself because I wanted to know what it is that I can do to minimize the effect of life as it was. Because I knew that there had to be something more than this. I was getting up, going to work every day, still living paycheck to paycheck. I felt like I had a good enough self-esteem, but really, when I really looked at it, the way I perceived things let me know that there was something in this mentality that was missing, because the littlest things would trigger it. and it would cause me to become angry and lash out. And it was just like at a click of a switch. And so the conversations I were having, my language and my vocabulary was terrible. I didn't have very good social skills. So I knew that if I wanted to create change or impact change for my life, it had to begin with me. Because I had did all that I knew to do. You know what they tell you to do, what society tells you to do. Go to college, get a good education, get married, take care of your family, all that. I did all that. But yet, waking up still unfulfilled. So I had to go on a journey. And that journey had to be between me and my own issues. And so, guys, I'm telling you tonight, and I'm encouraging you, that if you are in a place or area in your life to where you find yourself just like I was, doing all that you know how to do, and still unsatisfied, still unfulfilled, I'm telling you that if you want to impact change, or if you want something different, it's going to start with taking a long, hard look at the man in the mirror. And that's just what it is. You had internet problems. Sorry to hear that. You can always catch us on the replay if you go out on this again, but I'm glad you were able to chime in to give me that message, babe. And I'm glad you're here trying anyway. Okay? So make sure you check out YouTube. We can generally generate that from our phones, from our phone data. Okay? So, guys, so change begins with us. And this is where this book is important. This is where the Recreating a Better Me Tour team comes in handy, and that they're important. And this is why so many other things that I've generated and pulled from this content is important, is that when we recognize that there's a problem, we immediately want to blame and immediately want the other situations to change. Hardly ever do we really look at ourselves and say to ourselves, hey, you know what? I'm the problem. We don't want to do that. It's easier to look at our spouse and see where our spouse doesn't always do everything right. It's easy for us to look at our kids and blame them for some of the things that are going on and some of the things that aren't said right. It's easier for us to blame the church. It's easier for us to blame our parents, what they did or did not give us. It's easier to blame the job or that career that they don't pay us enough money, and this is the reason why we can't make it. But yet, after all that we can see, and for everything that we can blame, there is one common denominator in it all, and that's you. So in those areas in our life to where we know that we are unfulfilled, and that there's issues, and that there's cycles of the same old, and we're tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, we have to go to work on ourselves. And this has been the most challenging thing that I've ever had to do, but it's also been the most necessary thing that I've ever done. And now I'm at the point, years later, that things that used to bother me and set me off, now it's just like it doesn't even bother me anymore. It doesn't generate feelings or emotions or reaction. It doesn't generate and provoke that anger or that bitterness, because I had to go to work on me. Now, one thing that I've learned through Recreating Me is that I possess, or I have access to, everything that I need to be better. And so When I say I, and when I'm referring to me, I'm also letting you know that you're the same. You have or you have access to everything that you need to be better. I believe that. You have enough finances. You have enough time in the day. You have enough support around you. You have it all. There is nothing more than you need to create the life that you desire for yourself. Now, what the problem or where the problem comes in is in your management. It's in your management of that. It's in your mindset. And this is where we miss it. This is why cycles of poverty continue to happen over and over again. Why? Well, let's look at finances. Because I start recreating a better me by looking at our finances. Financial education is important. Many of us miss it. Many of us just want to look like we have something. We want to look like we have money. We want to look like we have it going on. We want to look like we can afford that handbag, or we want to look like we can afford that pair of shoes. And really, at the end of the day, the things that we spend money on are liabilities for us. Most of what we spend money on is not an asset. And this is how the cycle of poverty continues. Because we would rather go and spend $30 and $40 on a t-shirt that has a particular brand or logo on it, rather than to take that $30 and put it in a Roth IRA or some kind of investment or bond and stack it up that way. So instead of generating wealth and revenue for our legacy, we continue to build the legacy for somebody else. So yes, we're supporting that. That is why money runs through our hands. It just runs through we're poor managers. Poor managers. Not that we don't have enough money, but when we get $10 or $15 here or there that we unexpectedly, maybe wasn't expecting it, or we had it left over from our payday, instead of doing something useful and planting it in good ground, we go and plant it in McDonald's or Sonic or Brahms. These things that are in our neighborhood, or the liquor stores, or the nail shop. Trying to look like something. But really, we're poor managers of what we really have. Did you know that finances provides us with opportunities? It's what it does. And when you don't have money, that green piece of paper, when you don't have that, you don't have as many opportunities. You're limited in what you can do at that time. And it wasn't because you didn't have it. Because you had it, you just didn't manage it well. So our mindset is important. And this is where we have a difficulty understanding. Because we have been in an environment for so long, we thought this way for so long, our family has always thought this way, we feel like we're okay. And I can't say it enough. We feel like we're okay. This average, mediocre thinking where we blame, complain, make excuses and all that, that's mediocre. And we think that we are okay. We think people owe us something. We really think that. We really think that if we think it, it's okay to say it. We really think that we know something. And we get that because society conditions us to be just as we are. But did you know, if we were told we were going into slavery tomorrow, some of us would be okay with that. Some of us would be okay. This is our mindset. This is what we're conditioned to. Always looking for somebody to hand us something. Always thinking somebody owes us something. Always waiting on somebody to tell us something instead of getting out there and really digging in and figuring it out for ourselves. So if this is the mindset we have, people can come and tell us anything. And you can act big, bad, and angry, and that what you're going to do. But how you going to do if you don't have the resources or the know-how? Because you've spent the last 5 or 6 months feeling sorry for yourself. Or you spent the last 5 or 6 months in drama. Or you spent the last 5 or 6 months waiting on a check or something to come in. You did that. You mismanaged your time. You took for granted that somebody was going to give you something, or that you were still going to have money coming in. You took for granted of the one thing that is your escape. This is your escape. It's not in looking like something. Hey, Pastor Pitts, how are you, hon? It's not in looking like something. It's not in the physical. It's in this mental thing. Can you think? Can you make a decision? Can you process information? Can you look beyond what's right in front of you? So, for those of us that wait for people to tell us everything, because we're too lazy to go look it up and learn for ourselves, or for those of us that feel sorry for ourselves because we're still bitter about what mama and them didn't give us, this is where we're going to find ourselves. We're already enslaved. They already got our mind. So if they already got our mind, it's going to be easy for them to get the body. Because the body going to follow wherever the mind take it. So what kind of plan do you have? You can say, I ain't going back into slavery. I ain't going to do all that. But what kind of plan do you have? Don't you know the last 4 and 5 months have been your training grounds? What have you done with it? What have you done the last 4 or 5 months to prepare yourself, to develop a plan, to manage your finances better, to get your mindset right? What have we done, guys? So when I say recreating me or recreating a better me, I want to be better. Every day is a chance and an opportunity for me to be better. And if all I got this month is $100 bill, I need to know how to take that $100 bill to make sure that bill is paid, to make sure food still gets on the table, to make sure that the kids still have what they need, and make sure that my household continues to function. You'll take that same $100 bill, go out and get your hair done, or go out and get your nails done, or go out and buy that pair of shoes, or go get those tennis shoes, or go to McDonald's or something like that. The same $100 bill, but what we do with it is totally different, and that has to do with our mindsets. So when we are better, the results of the things that we do are going to show up. I never have to sit here and tell anybody about anything that I have or don't have or do or don't do. Why is that? Because my actions, my words, my persona, it follows whatever this here mind tells it to do. So it manifests. It manifests. It shows. You don't see three faces or two faces sitting in front of you. You see my face. You hear my words. And what you see in front of you is the same thing you see on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Right? It's the same face. This is what a mindset does for you. So you don't have to see us and worry about when me and the spouse is not getting along, or me and the kids are having it out, or when I can't pay my bills and things like that. You don't have to see all those different dramatic behaviors drug out in front of you. Because I protect this mind, I have to. Doesn't mean to say that things don't bother me, but things, when they do bother me, there's a way to escape and to be able to deal with that without putting it all out for to be ridiculed, or to have somebody to blame, or to continue to complain, or use that as an excuse why I can't get to where I'm going. So recreating ourselves is necessary. Recreating ourselves is necessary. Recreating ourselves is necessary, no matter how good we think we are. There's always room for improvement. So look at your 24 hours. Where can you make improvements? Where can you use that time a little more wisely? What can you study that can help you get a little farther along? How can you stretch that dollar just a little bit farther to make sure that you have the opportunities that you need, so that you won't be enslaved here? Because if you're already enslaved here and you're not doing anything to improve this, which is what recreating me is all about, recreating a better me is all about, is every day exercising this up here to be able to make moves and have opportunities that you need, so that not only you better, but everything that is connected to you becomes better. Yes, ma'am, Pastor Pitts, evolving. And every day, that's what we should be doing. We should be evolving every day. There should not be a time that we find ourselves just wasting. Because, guys, I believe there is something more coming. And if we can't manage money now, there's going to be an issue. If we can't control our emotions now, there's going to be issues. If we're struggling with our self-image and our self-confidence, there's going to be issues. And so when you add all of that we have, and we know we have, and we haven't taken at least the last 5 or 6 months to deal with that, then what does that look like in the next 5 or 6 months with the things that are to come? Because it's coming. So time now, more than ever, let's get our plans together. Let's get our minds together. Just you being here. I believe just those that have committed to being here on this platform and listening to me every night, and Lord, I don't know how you do it, but you do. you do, and you keep me going. That's something. That's more than many. That's more than many are willing to do. Have I not provoked you to think differently? Have I not provoked you to really look at things differently? Take another perspective on things? That's what it's all about. Never want you to just follow me. And you follow me so close that when I stumble, you trip and fall over me. But want you to sit here as a student and a student of learning and to maybe consider some things. But not only that, being willing to apply those things to your life as they relate to you. Because not everything will. Not everything will appease you. But there are some things that you can get. If not from this platform, there's many others that are doing it. Doing great things. But guys, you have to be willing to apply it to your lives. So recreating a better me is necessary. My reasons behind writing that book and my reasons behind continuing to tour and to teach in this area as it relates to recreating ourselves, it's because it's necessary. It's because when I meet a woman, I want to see her be her best. And if I can help guide her to be her best, then I know that her children are going to be impacted. I know that her household is going to be impacted. I know that her church is going to be impacted. I know that her community is going to be impacted. And the difference will begin to manifest. And the cycles will begin to become broken. And so I'll scratch it. I'll teach it. I'll live it. Not only today, but for every day to come. I am working to be the best me that I can be. So I appreciate you guys joining me here tonight. And I appreciate you guys for joining me the past 7 days for the Why series as I share with you and provide you clarity with all the services and products that I offer. So tonight, Recreating a Better Me concludes this series. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that something has been said to help you along your way. And I hope not only that you've been educated, but that you've been empowered and encouraged as well. I am your host, Antricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. I'll see you again right here tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Good night, everybody.